I was always a very open, very, very sensitive child, raised in a very strict Christian family. So life was quite frightening and overwhelming for me because I was picking up on an awful lot of energy, and I was told that that energy was negative and evil. So there was an awful lot of conflict for me for a very, very long time. And I was always interested in what I was picking up, but it was very, very fearful. And sort of that was kind of what I carried for probably the first sort of 32 years of my life, this ability to really feel quite intensely from people, understand what they were feeling, and sort of know bits and pieces about them. But I probably consider that normal. I just thought I was oversensitive and had been told that I was just being oversensitive a lot. And that's quite common for empaths. Um, when I started to understand a bit more about empaths, I sort of realized how much we struggle on a day-to-day basis. So empaths really do seem to navigate to me quite a lot. And pretty much all of my development students and most of my clients are empathic, actually. Um, so I basically went down the holistic therapy route in my 30s, and started doing massage and reflexology and loving that. And again, picking up bits and pieces of information on people, just knowing things about them, which I thought was normal, didn't really sort of think very much of it. Ended up learning Reiki. And when I started learning Reiki, things got very weird for me. And I got a bit freaked out actually because I started seeing energy and it got a bit intense. And so around that time when I got a bit freaked out, I was dragged along to a sort of psychic supper circle thing, and I met a medium there who told me that I was a medium, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, really? That's quite scary." Um, and I ended up, he basically sort of sent me off to see his friend, and I ended up in a development group there, and I sat in that development group for a few years, and then I attended his development group, and basically that's where it started. But there was still an awful lot of fear around it for me because I'd obviously been brought up that it wasn't good. So I was very, very reticent and held back with a lot of what I was picking up. And it took me a long time to, I did the Reiki practice and I was okay with that. It took me a long time to get really comfortable with what I was doing because I'm predominantly clairsentient, but I'm also quite clairvoyant as well. Um, and I've only really just been sort of getting comfortable with it in the last sort of 5 years. Been a coach now for a couple of years and absolutely loving it. And the coaching kind of just happened. It kind of evolved naturally because I would realize that I would be giving readings to people and a lot of feedback from my Reiki sessions. And actually they'd be getting so much more out of me than a reading and a Reiki session. And so many people would say to me, "Oh, I feel like I'm in therapy. I feel like this is a coach. What is this? This is great." And I'm like, maybe that I'm sort of coaching these people as well. So it kind of evolved into something really, really beautiful. And then I remember looking for sort of a spiritual mindfulness coaching qualification online because I just had this such a strong, again, my intuition was telling me this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do. I could feel it in my belly as this beautiful, fluttering, excited feeling. And I just happened to find one online, and I absolutely loved this wonderful group of people that I learned and worked with. And it was just such a beautiful course. And everything evolved from there because I had the beautiful spiritual component of what I'd been doing, with the readings and the Reiki and the teaching. And then suddenly this beautiful course kind of just came out of nowhere, seemingly. And it fit so perfectly into what I was doing already. And the EFT had evolved from a similar thing. And I've since sort of done the NLP as well. So I've got a couple of these coaching qualifications now. So there's lots of tools that I bring to the table now, but I'm also bringing my own spiritual journey, and I can understand when people have fear, and I can understand when they're reticent and they're unsure, because just the term spiritual can make people sort of freeze and worry a little bit and think, "Oh, what's that? That's religious. That's weird. That's weird," as my husband used to say. We can think it's a bit cuckoo. And it's been given a bad rep for so long. And my mission is really about making people feel comfortable and just saying, it's just your intuition. We all have one. Your intuition is connected to your soul. Your intuition is connected to the other side, even if you don't realize it. And it's not scary. It's so totally normal. It's more normal than anything else. And I really genuinely believe that. And it feels like my mission to just make people feel relaxed about it, to normalize it, to make it part of their life, to feel comfortable with it, to enjoy it, and to feel the freedom that comes from it. Um, and yeah, and I think that's what's really important. It's been really important for me to dispel fear, to dispel negativity, and to just make it as normal as anything else. Everyday language.